Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be discussing the country of South Korea's disaster management. So South Korea's disaster management can be broken down into three general categories. First category is a period of 1900 to 1999, where there was generally what was referred to as emergency numbness because many members of the public weren't aware of the concept of emergency management and just kind of accepted the disasters as they came. Then from 2000 to 2009, there were some major events that spurred the creation of the National Emergency Management Agency in 2004. And this agency really began the emergency management process and started standardizing some response and prevention measures. Then from 2010 to 2019, there was more of a rational response where individuals were already aware of emergencies and emergency management, but the government began having comprehensive education and creating technology that would allow them to spread information to the public and also prevent and mitigate disasters. Like I mentioned, there were some major events in the early 2000s that spurred the creation of the National Emergency Management Agency. Two of these were the natural disaster of Typhoon Miami in 2003, which was the biggest on record at the time. It caused major destruction, killed 171 people. And then there was also an arsonist who attacked a subway station, also in 2003, and killed and injured over 300 people. The country also has yearly typhoons and has been having ongoing flooding and landslide issues, which have worsened in the last couple of years. And these disasters have caused the country to put more of an emphasis on these really high value hazards that they have. But some of the major events were what really led to the development of emergency management in the first place. The country has a top-down implementation pattern because they do have a national government, which then oversees 16 wide area governments and 230 basic area governments, which are the local level. In these scenarios, the president and the national government will declare special disaster zones, which are then eligible to receive government assistance. So South Korea does have an all hazards approach to their planning. Here is listed some of the natural disasters that they actively plan for and try to mitigate. This is listed on their national atlas. So the major participants are the local governments and the national government that I discussed, as well as non-government partners such as businesses and nonprofits. And they also use the mass media to help get information out, and they rely heavily on international cooperation. In this picture here, this shows some of their emergency management workers heading to Turkey to provide aid to them. So they give a lot of aid through resources and personnel and money to other countries, and they receive a lot of the same in return. One of the biggest obstacles that's been identified in South Korean emergency management has been the reliance of a unidisciplinary approach instead of multidisciplinary, which is what's used in most developed countries. The unidisciplinary really means that the emergency managers are more specialized. So they'll have a focus such as firefighting or meteorology and aren't really aware of the other practices. The problem with this is that hazards are integrated a lot of the time and occur simultaneously. So for example, there could be a situation in which there's a typhoon that leads to flooding, that causes a chemical spill and electrical fires. And so in that scenario, emergency managers are going to have a lot of different knowledge and be able to apply their emergency management practices to all these different areas. And some of the reason that they might be more specialized is because emergency managers are not really a popular career in the country. Some of the other obstacles that the country might face is that the national government has a lot of political influences which can affect what the priorities are. And there is a history of a lack of effective communication between the different local areas and in the emergency alert system because they've sent out some emergency alerts that haven't provided the best information to the public. These are my references, and thank you.